It is 8:30, so I think it is time for us to bring on our special guest, the person of the hour. Just a kid. You ready to go? All right.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the only person to main jury who is not a foot fetishist, the Midwestern savior, taking the entire Midwest on his back a couple years ago, and then doing it again this year. The one and the only, just a kid. Hello. How's it going?
Good? I'm just chilling. How's your day?
Dude, I'm doing okay, man. I was a little bit nervous to start the show because I haven't done it in a while, but once we got going, it feels like home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that. Can you not say foot fetish ever again?
Yeah, I got you. Well, I said you're not.
Okay. Well, yeah, but I just don't ever say like jury. Well, okay. 62% of jury players don't have foot fetishes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that other percentage we don't talk about that.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was an independent study done, but
Yeah.
the numbers don't lie.
I've done the research. I've done the research myself.
Sick, dude. Thank you for doing the research. Really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So just a kid, I'm super happy to have you on the podcast. You're someone I've wanted to have on the show for a hot minute, so I'm glad this finally worked out. Here's what I want to start with, and I love talking to people about this. How did you find out the FGC was a thing? Like, how did you find out what your locals are?
That is going back. I want to say that was 2014. I want to say. Basically, I basically 2008. My dad bought me a PS3 and he had Street Fighter 4 vanilla. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was the scrubbiest thing ever. I thought it was trash, mainly because I couldn't beat Seth's CPU with my jump sweep meta. And then I learned what focus attack was, and I was like, oh, this is the most broken thing ever. And then I was like, but the computer's reacting to it and just SPDing me, and I'm like, what do I do? I'm not playing this game ever. So fast forward a couple years, I'm playing AE, and all that stuff. Then was it Ultra came out 2013, 2014?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, roughly. So I think I still have a copy of Ultra Street Fighter 4 somewhere lingering around, and I was playing that like super hardcore online. So because I didn't know much, I was just looking up YouTube videos and doing basic combos, and I was like, oh, I'm in Chicago. I'm pretty sure there's people I can play against for money because I saw Evil and everything. I want to do something like that, and lo and behold, when I had Facebook, I actually just found a random event, and it had a Pokemon card game, a bunch of other games, and Street Fighter 4. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm about to go there. I'm about to smoke everyone. Funny thing was that there was only one other guy for the tournament. There was just one other guy. He was just chilling. We were just in the back. It's like, oh yeah, you guys are only two, so just play a round robin or play a first of three. And I was like, all right, cool. And I was like, yo, I got this. I learned the combos. I don't know any block streams, but I know the combos when I land them. I got 10-0'd. I don't know how you get 10-0'd in a tournament, but I got 10-0'd in a tournament in a first of three. So that happened, and then he was like, "Oh, you're not bad. You should join the Facebook Street Fighter group in Chicago." So they, "Oh yeah, sure." So he gave me the invite. I checked it out. Checked out a bunch of events there. One of our locals, Ignite Gaming, has locals like every Monday or so, and I kept going. I kept getting smoked so much, and it was a classic. Going back another week, try not to go 0-2. Going back another week, try not to go 1-2. Mm-hmm. And eventually, Street Fighter 5 came out, of course. Then I moved to Wisconsin, and then there was another local where I was like, "Oh, I'm the best in Wisconsin. Ain't no one who plays Street Fighter games in Wisconsin." And then I may have met a certain man by the name of Brian F.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you, like, that man just cooked everyone. And then he told me, he was like, "Oh, you're not meeting me." I was like, "What's a meaty?" Like, I kid you not, I did not know what meaty was for like 2 years straight. And he was like, "You don't know what meaty was?" And he was like, "No." I was like, "Well, practice this." So I practiced it. I was like, "Oh, okay." And then that's kind of how all this happened. I mean, I went from being literally someone who probably was the scrubbiest person ever to now a contender for like what probably one of the best in North America.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
100%. So, was there a point where you either like remember making the decision, or where you felt like you went from being that scrubby player to like being a competitor, right? Like what happened that you said to yourself, okay, I'm gonna like really get good at this and I'm gonna win a tournament?
I think it was when I started to get like the second and third places at my local, specifically when I was super close to beating people, and it was kind of like I'm growing for sure as a player. I need that push, you know what I'm saying? And eventually I started to get the first places at the locals, and then I was like, oh, okay. And then we're at the regionals, a few years ago they did Rebel Conquest, for all the different cities and everything. And I was like, all right, I'm starting to get there. And then eventually 2018 was when I took second place to Joey at Minnesota. And it was like, oh snap. He's actually like, he's right there.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like continuously surpassing what I'm thinking I'm capable of. And I was like, oh, I'm actually doing this. I'm actually like keep getting progressively better and better. So I think it was just more so all the hours I grinded. When at first it was just all about purely, ranked typical stuff. Like I'm trying to get this rank and all this stuff. Then I was like, what if I play sets with people? What if I try to understand a game plan, try to formulate it? I started to take it bit by bit, and eventually, I don't know, something just clicked. I can't really tell you. I was just in that phase in tournament. All of a sudden, just like everything clicked to me.
Oh, that's awesome. And out of a morbid curiosity, what does training look like?
Training for me, well, right now in Street Fighter 6, there's so many tournaments to like, train for the big ones. I mean, right now I'm actually like on the side, I'm kind of watching Casa and Bum's tournament right now, so I'm kind of seeing how that goes. So those are tournaments, but right now for training for me specifically, it's kind of, if I'm struggling with something, I try to figure out if it's either me, the game, or the characters. So, for example, if what was it? Tampa Never Sleeps. TNS happened last night, and when I tell you I was down to slumps after I lost, I was down to slumps, and I was like, why am I losing? It's like when you always ask this question like, why am I losing? And then you look back and you're like, yo, why did you do that? You ask yourself, why did you do that? So I realized that was definitely like for sure a me thing where I kind of completely was off my game plan, and I realized that I got to train back up to play my way. I wasn't playing how I normally play. So typically training for me, I just try to make sure that I'm on point, and if I struggle with the character, I try to lab the character out or play sets with someone who plays that character, so I get a better grasp. Because once big tournaments happen, I don't want to be unexpected with some crazy setup or anything like that. And then, of course, the game is something else entirely, which can go into like 2 hours about certain things that are, let's say, iffy in this game. But yeah, that's kind of like how my training does. But most of the time, me streaming, just trying to have fun and everything.
Gotcha. And streaming is definitely something I want to hit on. But since you brought it up, you brought up about how you were feeling down in the dumps yesterday after, and I think I remember a couple of weeks ago as well, like you either lost a tournament or something had happened where you were like doing a lot of negative self-talk, and I wanted that's the specific reason why I brought you on the show, and here's why. I feel like we don't see that side of a professional player, like when they're like beat down, right? I feel like a lot of when something like that happens, people are just like, oh, I lost, I'm sad, I'll be back later. Not like, oh, I'm frustrated at this thing that happened, or like, why am I not performing to the level that I think I should, right? So I feel like that was something that was very relatable, both to myself, because I am exactly like that. Like, I was also at that tournament, and I lost to Shine, which, like, big surprise there. And then I lost to somebody who I felt like I shouldn't have lost to, and it was like, damn. Yeah. So what do you think are some ways that you, cope with dealing with such a frustrating loss, and how do you get yourself out of that slump and out of, like, that negative self-talk?
So probably the first thing is mainly one, I'm kind of grateful because I grew up with having a lot of patience for a lot of stuff, because I've definitely worked in customer service jobs, and let me
Mm-hmm.
tell you, if you do not have patience for those jobs, you will actually get eaten alive out there. And I'm pretty sure anyone right now who works those can relate, because I understand that people are angry, and some of them can be angry over the littlest of things.
Mm-hmm.
But then I realize, all right, you know what? Not everyone's gonna have the same best day. Not everyone's gonna have the same day as you. You just gotta take it. Try, if you can try and make the day a bit better, try and do it. I tried to do my best when I was working and everything, so I did the same thing. But yeah, it's mainly when I am in a slumps, I really am more so the vocal person. Lately growing up, when I've just been like, yo, I gotta just spit it out
Mm-hmm.
why I'm angry. Because if I don't spit it out, it's gonna eat me alive inside, and then I'll be down in the slumps another day, and people are gonna be like, why are you so sad today? It's like nothing happened, and it's like I'm just mad about yesterday. So I think that's one thing that helps me out, is just speaking out to whoever, even if it's just my pillow or something. Um, but yeah, that tends to be what I do. And then when I was down in the slumps, because I think it was the last week or week before, the reason why I was is actually because I think I made top 8 at a tournament, got smoked straight, had to play an ICFC right away, got smoked right away, and I was just like, I was telling myself I suck at this game and everything. I know my chat was trying to hype me up, be like, "Nah, you're good," but then I realized that you gotta tell yourself sometimes, like, one, these are weekly tournaments. They're not gonna be, one say be all these tournaments. It's not the end of it. So I think I gotta tell myself that, and that these are really like training grounds.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna win everything. I always tell myself you're gonna lose 1,000 times before you win once. And I think that's one thing that people for sure can live by, because the amount of losses I've accumulated in Street Fighter Five is like, I don't know how many compared to like what I've won a decent amount of tournaments in Street Fighter Five, and I've done a good amount of stuff. But it's just, you gotta accept losses for what they are. Of course, everyone's gonna be salty; it's your natural reaction. But you gotta take a moment. Don't go on someone's butt or anything like that. It's not their fault or anything like that. Just be like, I gotta try again next time, or just look at it as a constructive way. Do not be like you're stupid or anything, because that's definitely like self-destruction. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a bunch of overall things what I tend to do. But the saltiness gets to you.
Yeah.
The saltiness definitely gets to you. Just hopefully your way can help you out better than others, because some people have just been like, when they get salty, especially at this game, if you get drive impacted and you say I DI'd that, it's like, ooh,
Yeah.
you feel it.
Yeah. No. And first of all, thank you for taking the time to share that, because I think that's something that like we all go through, and I think it's not something that's not very much talked about, but I think needs to be talked about, right? Especially when it gets down to self-destruction, right? Because we put so much time into playing, and everything can just fall like a house of cards one week and be like amazing another week, right? So yeah, definitely I super appreciate the approach of like taking criticism, constructive criticism, not necessarily like just beating yourself down. So I hella appreciate that. So let's get into the streaming stuff, because I want to talk about that, and as well as your the team pickup that you got picked up by the Moist crew over there. I'm a big fan of Lord Charlie, so I saw that and I was like, hell yeah. So how do you view streaming from like a top player perspective? Like why do you stream?
At first, back when I first was streaming, it was just a casual, like, oh, I'm playing ranked, just join me, whatever. And then I think I got into the mindset of I wanted to be the #1 jury on CFN back in 5. And I was like, that's an achievable goal. That's not too bad. I'm not trying to win Evo at the moment or anything like that. So I'm just like, why not? And then, what was it? I think I got the ranks and everything. And I was like, all right, cool. what's next, So I just kept streaming, just trying to show off my gameplay and everything. And eventually it definitely got to the point where I was like, oh, a lot of people tune in to watch me. I didn't expect this. I didn't know what to do with it at the first. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing. I'm not doing nothing too crazy. Uh, but streaming kind of lately is, well, first it's my job now. It's pretty cool now to say. I never thought this would happen, but it's really just me just being me. I don't really know how to, put on a facade or anything. It's kind of hard for me to lie continuously to people for like, I don't know, 8 to 12 hours every day. I'm like, that's kind of hard for me to do. So I enjoy rank because I like to interact with people because I've been more so outgoing, especially. So it helps you, talk to people. You're not being pressured to go into an event or anything like that. You just like literally just in your house doing whatever, and you're having fun with people that have the same common interest in you. So I find streaming to be most of the time relaxing. It's not really, super super difficult to do, and now it's kind of custom for me to just be like, oh yeah, I'm streaming. I'm really really used to just having a camera on my face, and I like to have fun, especially on the camera. Especially if you see me at Common Break or any other tournament, I just make faces and memes. So I am not really like camera shy, really. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, and has there been anything that you've learned about the game that you would not have learned if you were not streaming?
I probably wouldn't learn certain combos or setups. I'm not gonna lie, because the funny thing about Twitch and Twitter is that they're kind of intertwined. Because if you've seen one setup on Twitter, all of a sudden someone in the chat will be like, "Oh no, I found this other setup," and you're like, "Wait, what?" And you click and you're like, "Wait, what? I've been doing this all wrong." And that's kind of cool because you have a collective of people who are sharing knowledge with you, and some of them could have a bit more knowledge than you about something or someone, and it can help you out eventually, because then they can be like, oh yeah, I know this person does this, like, oh cool, good to know. All of a sudden you win the tournament and you're like, oh snap, because you told me that, and you're in my circle and everything. It's kind of like they just helped you out. So I do think streaming can help you interact with people, and eventually when you find people of the same interests, they kind of help you out, and you may help them out, vice versa. So I generally appreciate that from streaming. So just being able to interact with people and have fun.
For sure. And on the flip side of that coin, have you like regretted streaming? Either like maybe like somebody watched your streams and studied you up for a tournament or an event or anything like that. Like, do you worry at all about like having your gameplay out there so readily available?
Not really. Considering the internet right now is just too big, and at this point, I probably can make an alt account and people will find it, and I'll just be like, yeah, there's no way I can hide. Like, I can make something like not related to my name at all, and they'll be like, oh, that's him, and I'm like, I don't even know how you knew that. I don't even like tweet about this or say anything about this account, but okay. But no, I don't mind it, mainly because it's like, I mean, look at some of the greats who are streaming: Momochi, Sako, Punk, Daigo, all of them. They're streaming perfectly fine. It's just, in those tournament settings, if you can handle all those habits and understand what to do, I mean, good stuff to you. But if they do it at different intervals, now what? All of a sudden, you just don't have that habit anymore. So I think I just don't mind if people tune in my stream to like watch me and understand my gameplay, because I would do the exact same thing. I was one of those people who literally just looked at your stream or try to look up your results on CFN. I found no secret accounts on CFN because no one could hide from me. And so if people are going to do it, if I used to do it, people are going to do it. So I'm just like, sure, do it. Go ahead.
Cool. Yeah, I feel like that was something that a lot of people tend to worry about, but it's cool that, and especially like hearing from other people that it's just like, that doesn't really matter. So it's really cool to hear that, like, there's no more of that like save that shit for nationals type of mentality where everybody just hides behind something. So let's talk about your pickup, joining the Moist crew. How did that all come about? Like, what was that process like?
Oof. Well,
or at least what you
tell
can
you
share. I
that.
don't know if you're
Yeah,
under
this is
NDA or anything.
definitely like a story. So it was the Thursday before Combo Breaker. I actually got contacted with another team who wanted me, and I was like, "Oh snap!" They it was like whatever team, and I was looking at them. I was like, "Wait, no, this team's legit. Like they've won, uh, like national championships for other games, like $1 million
Mhm.
champions." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I asked around my friends, they're like, "Yo, do you know this team?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, they're legit. They're legit." Some knew, some didn't, but most of the time, what they knew, they said they were legit. I was like, "Oh snap!" So I talked to them, or I told them like, yeah, I'll be interested, but I'm at a tournament right now, so I'll let you guys know afterwards. So like, okay, cool. Post Combo Breaker, I think it was the Monday night afterwards. Charlie literally just DMs me and said, "Hey, I'm interested in a Moist Esports Street Fighter 6 player. Do you want to join?" And I was like, "What?" It threw me off so hard. And keep in mind, this is at midnight, so I was just like, I'm about to go to sleep. I don't know how to respond to this. So I was kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place when it comes to offers. They were both offering pretty good like deals and everything. So I was just like, damn. That's all I could say, damn. Because what is it? Street Fighter 6 was coming out in like 3 or 4 days. I was preparing myself mentally for that. I was not focused on sponsorships at all. And it was like, I was like, so now while I'm streaming for like 12 hours, I have this back in my head being like, yo, you got to make a decision who you want right now. And I was like, okay. I don't know how to go about this because it's my first time actually dealing with like, salary base type
Mhm.
things. So I was like, wow. So I really kind of, my counsel is my mom and my dad actually. So I asked for my counsel like for advice,
Mhm.
and they were kind of going like, well, depending on how you feel about those teams and how you feel as a person, like it's up to you. But so and so, da 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 da, like whatever you feel like, because they can say, take this offer, take that, but it's up to me. So it took me about a week and a half to decide, and I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna join Moist because they definitely were like more so just talking to me like, hey, your streams are doing well. We like seeing like you your personality stands out. You look pretty cool. You look chill. If you ever need questions about us. So I was like, oh, they really, they want to talk to me. They want to interact. They want to
Mhm.
be there. So I was like, okay, they seem like a good org. So I decided to join them. And lo and behold, I was like, wow, I'm joining Moist. This guy who's the meme of like, yeah, baby, that's what I've been waiting for. And I was like, I've only seen that guy on YouTube like every so often. I'm like, now I'm about to see him. Like the guy interacts with Ludwig in them, and that's a funny thing about me, especially in when I was younger, is that I not gonna lie, I kid you not, I thought Justin Wong and all those top players were fake, like they weren't real people. Like I didn't. I
Oh.
thought they were like, ain't no one from Japan's gonna come to America and playing fighting games. And then I was like, wait, are they real? Wait, holy crap, they're real. So to me, I had that same type of feel when I saw that DM, and I was like, wow. And now I can say like, yeah, I work for Moist Esports,
Hell yeah.
which is like, holy crap, man.
Dude, I think my favorite part about Moist Esports is Charlie watches everybody he sponsors on his stream.
Yeah.
And dude, like the way they get hype for like Rocket League, like they'll like just start hitting like baseball bats and like slamming them on couches, and then like if
Oh
they
yeah,
start
they'll
losing
just
the
they'll
dude,
just go ballistic, and I'm like,
they're
imagine Evo or imagine like just majors, and it's just like that. Wow.
dude, that's super
Yeah.
exciting. So going back to what you were saying about how you could not believe that people actually came from Japan to the U.S. to play fighting games. How do you feel looking at the numbers for Evo?
I mean, this is definitely like the big topic, especially this week, I would say. But when I saw those numbers at Evo, I was like, Street Fighter 6 is such a good product and a game, and that it's insane to think about that whoever and I believe these numbers are updated. But I think whoever wins Street Fighter 6 at Evo will get, I think, at least 50K and up or 40K, and
Yeah,
also
something
be
like that.
qualified for CPT. And then also, you've beaten like almost 10K people at one game, and you've maintained like your sanity for that long. Because I I just know that Evo Saturday especially is going to be a marathon, because this game can either go very slow or very quick.
Yeah.
And if you're not on point, you can actually flop over. So when I saw those numbers, I definitely was genuinely excited, because this is my first time actually, because I wasn't at Evo during beginning of Street Fighter V, so I never saw those numbers. I think, what was it? It passed 5,000.
Yeah, it was like
for
5,000
share?
something. Yeah.
Yeah, 5,000 roughly. So yeah, this is my first time where you see like almost everyone come out. Like I saw the attendees list, and it was literally just like, I'm talking Punk, Daigo, Shuto, Tokido, Bonchan, F Champ, Alex Myers, JB, Nephew, like all of them. This is literally just insane, because I'm super excited to see all these people, and I'm like, the amount of different play styles are going to intertwine is going to be insane. And I also know that when it comes to the suites with the sets, you already know that a bunch of people are going to have those hidden rooms, be like, yo, come to room 102. And it's like, we got 4 people only. That's all we getting, bro. So yeah, I saw those, and I know that what was it? Marvel Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 broke records, which is really amazing, because I love seeing that game.
Mm-hmm.
I love just seeing what is it, Virgil being motivated, or Dark Phoenix comes out, and I'm like, well, it's a good run. I do enjoy that game for sure, so I was really happy to see that. And then,
are you happy with all the anti-Phoenix tech that's been coming out since?
Oh yeah, I don't like that character. Screw that character. I don't like the character. I love Virgil comebacks. Virgil comebacks are fair and honest. Okay, we all can agree on that. You have to hit them. Okay.
Yeah.
But for Phoenix, I block, I die. Like, imagine saying that. So yeah, Guilty Gear, I believe, also broke the numbers. I believe as well.
Here,
yeah,
I actually have the numbers here. Let me pull them up.
Yeah, but I think they broke. I want to, because they were 1K, I think, last year.
Yeah.
I think now they're at roughly almost 2.5, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just awesome to see that, despite Street Fighter 6 being a hot and stuff, some games are still growing. I mean, Marvel 3 is a decade. Is it 2 decades? No, it's not. It's a decade. I think
it's like 1 decade, I think, because it came out like 2008, 2009, I think.
Was that vanilla or was that Ultimate?
I think that might have been Ultimate. Hey Google, when did Marvel 3 come out?
When did Marvel 3 come out?
It's thinking.
I think it's a decade in some years. It could be wrong.
Oh, Vanilla came out in 2011, so my bad.
So it must have been 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
Ultimate. So yeah, roughly a decade at this point. But dang, yeah, it's I mean, we're kind of like, it feels like, we're in that melee area with Marvel when it comes to like, it just keeps growing and growing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and a few years where like it was a little bit stopping a bit, but then what was it, 2022, 2023, and now like it's going to be, I think it's a Sunday game now. It's actually like back to being a Sunday game. It's crazy to think about, like, and it has 20 or 25K in the pot.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's actual money in there, so it is pretty nice to see all that. But yeah, the Evo numbers got me excited. I think a lot of people will tend to be nervous, because I think it's like always, when you look at the numbers, half of those people will go 0-2. And it's crazy to think about, like, when you go to Evo, you could be 3K, one out of 3K people to go 0-2 at a tournament. And I'm like, it's a new game. It's okay. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. It's Vegas, baby. But yeah, I'm really excited to just play everyone. I'm not nervous. I'm excited. I won't smoke. Always.
Good. So, like you mentioned, Saturday, with it being this large, is going to be a hell of a marathon, right? It's what was it, like, you get out of pools and you still have like top like 2,000 something. So how do you train for like such a long term like day like that? Like what goes through your head when you're seeing that coming up?
First thing in my mind is put on walking shoes. Do not put on those fancy little whatever shoes you can walk about 30 minutes in, then your feet start to hurt. Do not do that. I don't plan on doing that. I only put on my fancy shoes probably Friday, maybe Sunday. Um, but it's also a thing of, you know, if you have momentum, especially if you're constantly winning, um, especially in this game, I would say take a break, breathe it, stretch it out, make sure you're good because you don't want to be just because you can actually be burned out playing, especially in this game. Because if you play like, imagine if you do the Bonchan run, you go to losers right away. Mm-hmm. You got to make it all the way back, and I'm like, bro, that is that out of like what 7,000 people. That's I don't know how many matches Bonchan played in 2017.
Yeah, but
that's like probably double or triple what he did. So, like, if you do that, somehow you are Jesus Christ reincarnated or something. But yeah, I would say that if you are playing, especially in Street Fighter 6, take your time. If you need a moment to get some water, stretch, do whatever. I know it's going to be crowded as hell. I know you're going to be like, oh, I can't wait to play. There's adrenaline rush. I want to keep it going. Sometimes you need to take a breather, rethink, come back to it, and shoot. If you have to look at the character selection for like 2 minutes real quick, do that. But yeah, that's kind of like my thing when it comes to preparing. I kind of just go with the flow. I'm really a very chill guy, so when they're like, you ready to play again? I'm like, yeah, sure, man. Like, I say it's super nonchalant because I'm really just nonchalant.
Yeah.
So this for sure will be a test how well I can maintain like my stamina because my mind definitely gets burnt out probably after playing like a first to 10, first to 20 in this game. So playing multiple first to twos will definitely take it out of me. So we'll see how I go this year. Hopefully I don't burn out too quickly.
Yeah. And just for fun, do you have any predictions on what's going to happen?
Like, you want me to call a top 6 right now? Who is winning? Or you want me to just call everything out right now? I mean, I'll call it.
If you got it, call it. If you got it,
I mean, all right. So listen. Here's what's gonna happen. America's not making top 8 unless I'm in top 8 or top 6. Sorry, top 6. So if I'm not in top 6, we're not winning. We will have a blonde win Evo, for sure.
Okay.
It doesn't matter which blonde. So that's guaranteed at least. Luke, Guile, Cammy, Ken. So we're guaranteed at least those blondes. I want to say this is going to be a hard call. We may have like 15 upsets happen. Now, it's hard to say upset mainly because this is the biggest one. Mm-hmm. And people are going to be like, oh, what's an upset? And I want to say an upset probably like if you, especially in America, because it's kind of like, since we're regional based, because like you'll probably know someone from your scene and you're like, oh, he's got like, we've been known him. And then I'll be like, oh, I know my guy. He's got like, and you're like, I don't know who he is. He's trash. I think we're going to have one of those things where like a secret killer is, or multiple secret killers are going to spice up the bracket. And we're going to be like,
good.
I can't call it. It's going to be one of those things. Because that always happens at Evo. Because I'm not sure if you remember last year, but Mira, the lawyer player from Wisconsin, she actually beat Pugera for in top like 16, and she was cooking up all the players. And I think she lost to Chris. And had she beaten Chris, it would have been a Midwest team kill for top 8.
Damn.
So I think we're gonna have those situations happen to Evo a lot. I'm really excited to see those because I'm gonna be on the sidelines being like, that wouldn't happen to me though, me personally. So, and I definitely will be the guy who let's say does the bison dollars. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
So if someone does like what score 1-1, they do this because that's a classic Evo trick. You got to find the setup because the amount of especially big high level matches that won't be streamed is actually going to be massive. Like,
yeah.
It's like imagine the birds playing off stream, loser side.
Yep.
Like it's gonna be exciting, scary, and I'm gonna love it.
Okay, so on this show we do bets here, but we bet pizzas.
Pizzas?
Yeah. So, are you ready to put a pizza on the line for no Americans in top 8 except for you?
Oh, you are a good gambling man with the pizzas, huh? You'd call my bluff like this? Oof. Ooh. Okay. Wait. Here's my question.
Hmm.
Does MENA count? If MENA makes top 8, is that considered America top 8 or Dominican Republic top 8?
We could say North America. Let's say North America.
North America. Okay. Oh, that's tough. You you got me really thinking. Like North America. That's America is one thing. North America. Oh my god. That's including like Kaba, Mana, all of them. Like no top 8. Oh no, hold on. It's top 6.
Oh yeah,
Top
that's
6.
right. Top 6.
You know what? I'll take that. Only because I'm gonna call it right now. Americans are gonna choke at like 13th and 9th place and 7th. I feel it. I can feel when someone's about to choke. Because I kid you not. Watch what happens. Someone's gonna do the combo, low forward drive rush. Oh, just kill him. Burn all your meter. They burn all the meter. They forget how to super input. Super doesn't come out. I'm like, and guess what happens? They get smoked. You know what? I think I'll take it. I think I'll take that bet.
Okay, so anybody from North America makes it to top 8, I owe you a pizza. Nobody from North America makes top 8, you owe me a pizza.
Yep. All right. There we go.
All right. And good thing we'll both be at Evo, so I'll just.
Oh yeah, we'll just walk up to like, where's the pizza? Where's the pizza? I don't see no pizza on you. Come on. Let's go outside. Yeah, there's pizza right there. What you talking
about? Can't wait to have some of that patented Las Vegas pizza. Oh boy.
Oh man.
So with everything said and done, with like this gigantic rise in numbers with Street Fighter 6, with the end of Street Fighter 5. First, this is something I wanted to ask, but I completely forgot to ask. Also, it's 9:00. I asked for 30 minutes of your time. Are you cool staying a little bit longer? Or do you have to go?
As long as you want. Midnight, how long you want me to stay? You know what I'm saying?
Dude, we'll go until 6 a.m., man. No, I'm just kidding.
Shoot, let's do it.
Okay. I'm too old. So, first of all, I wanted to ask, after years and years and years of Street Fighter 5, of almost consistently making top 8, if not consistently making top 8, and that's lack of knowledge on my part, not me calling you out or anything. How did it feel to finally like get the big win at Combo Breaker, especially after like the crazy exhibition drama that went down the year before?
Oh yeah. A lot of people I think told me after my win, I think they definitely said it was literally like poetic as ever to like finally like just tie the ribbon with Street Fighter 5, because it was kind of like my story was this kid just couldn't win locals, and now he's slowly winning regionals, and now he's slowly becoming one of the best players in North America. He's qualified for Capcom Cup. He's played in Street Fighter League. He beat the West Coast. All he needs is this last one, and I think it will be set in stone. And I think it was when I lost to Shine at Texas Showdown. I was perfectly fine with it. I was like, I think me and Shine are going back and forth. I think it was perfectly fine. It's just that I kind of wanted to have the 2 wins. I kind of low-key wanted 2 wins, but it was perfectly fine to get in Frosty Fausting's first place, Texas Showdown second place, and then Combo Breaker first place. And when I won, and then I think Rick Hotto even said, I think I'm the first ever Midwest player to win Combo Breaker.
Damn.
Which, for the last year of Street Fighter 5, I mean, I don't know how else to complete the story. I mean,
yeah,
that's pretty crazy to see. And Combo Breaker is always a tournament that I enjoy. So I was just like, man, from watching spectators like not being able to make out pulls to like being on the stage and winning was just so awesome, and I enjoyed it so much. I loved it, and then I was just thinking to myself, like, if people remember Street Fighter 5 and they remember vaguely the last year, they're gonna be like, you won the last tournament. I'm like, yeah, I was that guy. So it's definitely nice to have that win. I just make sure not to put it all over my head or anything like that, and be like, oh, you won this, therefore you're better. It's like, humble yourself a little bit, relax. It's a new game. Don't put yourself like all up there. So I always want to make sure to remind myself after that win, like, relax. It it's your moment, but don't go too much into it. So that's definitely a thing of mine that I tend to do. So, but I was really happy to just close that ribbon on Street Fighter V.
Hell yeah! And how has the transition from 5 to 6 gone for you? Like, has there been anything that's been plaguing you specifically about Street Fighter 6, or has anything not clicked, or has everything clicked? How's that been going?
And let me tell you something about this game. One of the things, especially during the first betas, was that the priority system is gone completely. So no, like, heavies be mediums, mediums be light, so on and so forth. That definitely threw me off because I'm thinking in my head like, oh, he's gonna do a medium, so I can do a heavy to crush or punish counter. I'm like, it doesn't work like that. If they hit on the same frame, you guys hit. It's like, oh, okay. So that was a thing, and also kind of like mediums aren't necessarily a thing, and the frame data changing up definitely throws me off a bit. But that was during like the first 2 betas ish. I still trying to get used to the game, get used to the mechanics. But then after like the third like open beta, I really got used to it. I got understanding of it, and then when the game came out, stuff started to click. So for some reason, some people tend to say that I can understand stuff pretty quickly. To me, it feels like it takes me eternity, but I guess, a week to me is like quick and easy for them, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So it definitely didn't take me too long to understand the game, how stuff works and everything, and also have the reactions for it. The main thing, I think my gripe with this game is that it eats inputs a lot.
Yeah.
And when I say a lot, it means a lot. Like, I'm pretty sure you've had it where, let's say someone drive rush with a fireball, and you press parry as they drive rush, but you get a button, and you're like, I didn't poke out. And you check the replay, you actually did the right call, but the game eats your input and assumed all you did a button. Yeah. And I think it's, unless you're a modern, it's a classic control actually bug. And I realized that because then I actually had the same situation where someone did a fireball, so I parried, but because they drove rush, I actually got a button, and I was like, I didn't. The game even shows me doing parry, and I was so confused. So that's definitely a big thing about this game, is that it eats inputs a lot, and I kind of hope that it changes up a bit. Also, the patented drive rush is very annoying. I mean, I play a drive rush character, I'll admit it. She's cheap as ever, but it's funny to think when I say even I can't check it. And it's crazy to think about, like, when the person playing the character cannot beat their own moves, it's kind of saying something about the game.
Yeah.
But with this game, it's really hard to change the mechanics without changing the whole flow of the game.
Yeah.
Because if they change it that way, all right, if you parry drive rush, it's now 2 bars. It's like, all right, well, I can still play the same game roughly. It's just I do it a little bit less. But then it's just like, well, if I get the combo, I'm still like in the same good situation. Doesn't matter. So it's really hard for them to change up how stuff is, because the drive system is so, like, it's just so weird to like mess with. You don't want to change up too much because then you shake the meta, and it's very nervous to change. But one thing I think that a lot of pro players are saying is that when someone drive rush at you, they should be in punish counter state, which I think is a pretty good idea, because if you do have good reactions, you actually punish them for going offensive, and they lose a bar as well. So I think that's a perfectly good way to change it. But I'm not a developer. I don't know, like, if that would be crazy big or anything like that. I could be wrong, but yeah, that's probably my biggest gripe I want to say about the game. Also, well, that, and also Fireball's being way too strong. Like, Guile is super good. Jury's Fireball is super good. Ken's slow Fireball is super good. Like, a lot of characters' Fireballs are so good, yet there's not many Fireball, like, answers to Fireball. I think probably Capcom thought parry would be like the big brain, classic option, but you can't. It's hard to beat a Guile Sonic Booming when I'm just walk up parry. Already put me back in that situation. Yep. Walk up parry, and then it's like, I don't know what you want me to do. I can't drive impact because he reacts, and it's like, with those characters, you gotta have good patience. That's my best guess, unless you're Cammy, which in that case, spin knuckle. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed the game. It's just a little bit of stuff here and there, but especially after season 1 Street Fighter 5, I think this is way better.
Mhm.
This is way better. I think everyone could agree on that.
Yeah. No, and I think I saw you in Automatic's chat earlier when he was going through it today with eating inputs or getting inputs.
Oh yeah, he was suffering. I was like,
yeah, dude.
yep. It's. I mean, we're all just like, we all have had it, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. No, and it's all in solidarity. Like, I'm pretty sure like we all understand what that feels like. Man, I think for me personally, I think the one change I would do is if you tried to do something without having the meter for it, you just get put into burnout and you don't actually get the thing. So like if you try to do a drive rush when you only have a little sliver and you try to do a cancel drive slash
right away.
Yeah. Just because then it would force people to like really pay attention to their meter. And if you try to overexert yourself, you're going to get screwed.
You're actually like going to be done.
Yeah. To me,
or maybe
like,
like shooting.
That would be like,
or like maybe like a weaker version. Like if you drive rush, all right, you'll get it, but you only get like +2 frames.
Yeah, exactly.
Or something like that. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, and just because I hate like the like you have a sliver left and like I don't know like somebody DIs or they get
Oh
like
yeah,
that, or get that they
like,
get
God
like
damn
the
it.
drive rush low forward or something like that.
Yeah, it's annoying when you just see that little pixel. You're like, come on, just burn it, just burn it, just burn it, just burn it, just do it. And they're like, wait.
And then something else I wanted to talk about is with Rashid coming up. There's the controversy of Rashid being tournament legal for Evo coming up. Like, do you have any opinions on how Capcom's handling that?
Okay, so when I first saw like kind of like how they're doing CPT and everything, I think everyone, their mom, legitimately said, "Oh, he's coming out after Evo." I think everyone agreed on that. You know, it was common sense. You get everyone riled up. Boom, Rashid's coming out. Oh, guess what? He's out tomorrow. It's like, oh snap, it's so cool. It would have made perfect one, but then they said, "Nah, we just gonna." Here's this trailer on a random Wednesday, which is like very odd. So it was definitely odd. And then they said he's available like 10 days before Evo, and then we were like, why? Like, what? It was so weird, and I think it definitely was getting people started up like, oh, you know, he's too crazy of a character. We're not gonna be able to play him or anything like that. He's too weird. Even my good friend Lizardman, he's a Rashid connoisseur. He was just like, oh, I'm just gonna. He doesn't care about the Evo as much because he's gonna pick Ryu, but he's like, I'm play casuals with Rashid a lot, and that's what the mindset we were going like. Okay, you know, Rashid will play casuals. Then they said, no, he's legal. And in my head, I was like, yo, Capcom, you just don't care, huh? You just said they want chaos and as much of it as possible. Because I know someone's going to just play Rashid. They don't know what they're doing. They're just going to do it. And hopefully they don't get knowledge checked. But I would say that if it's within the rules, they always have the right to do so. And I believe I think it's CBT rules where it says like a week or something. I forgot who it is. I think it is CBT though. But normally people tend to say always 2 weeks. Of course, 2 weeks, and Rashid would have been like just outside of that 2 weeks, so it made sense. But it was definitely like an interesting choice. Now the real question is who's gonna play him? Like big pro players, you know. I think for myself, because I did play him in Street Fighter 5, I maybe will. I can't promise it. I'm not sure I want to bank Evo on Rashid just yet. But I will play him in casuals, try and get a feel for him. But for me personally, I don't mind Rashid being out or being allowed to play. I'm really a chill guy about that. Now, if it was the weekend before, I'll be like, oh no, that's a big no. But you get 10 days, and because I believe that's 10 days, not including that Thursday where people fly out. So I think it's fair game. So actually, you know, if you're a big streamer and everything, and before Evo you try and do all that, I would say grind hard, do what you gotta do. I think it's okay. So, you know, may the turbulent wind, you know, not smoke you or anything, but you know, the pool Rashids, bro, they about to be out there. So I'm excited to see if anyone got some sauce with Rashid, because I'm known to be a sauce stealer, so if I
Mhm.
see anything, I'm stealing it. So I am ready to see some turbulent wind.
Hell yeah. So we talked about the beginning. We talked about the end of Street Fighter V, beginning of Street Fighter 6. We talked about the future, right, with Evo coming up. Um, I wanted to leave off the interview with a little advice from you. So for somebody who's out there who either is having a hard time finding a local scene, or they're scared of going to locals because they're too shy, or they just don't know like what's going to happen, do you have any advice for people who are like trying to get into the FGC but just either can't because of themselves, or they just don't know where to go?
I would say if I would say first off, people who don't have a local, try to actually maybe join just a random tournament. You don't have to win it or anything like that. I'm doing too well, but like join the Discord for it, because I guarantee you there is someone just like you who may have been new or may like want to take on newcomers and just be like, oh yeah, we have a Discord over here. Let me show you. Give me a link, and you can interact with so many people over the internet. Like I'm probably in like 20 plus Discords literally just because of the FGC. And some of them I have lifelong friends with. And that literally just started with one invite from when me just talking to someone randomly. So I would say if you're too nervous to show up offline or anything like that, just take it online. Of course, you're not showing your face, you're not doing anything, you're not speaking, you're just typing, you're just chilling with people. You get to know them, you start building up, a little bit of trust with them. You start having fun with them. They may teach you some new things. So always, try to have an open mind when it comes to interacting with people. Do not try and be closed minded. Be like, I gotta play with so and so, otherwise I'm not gonna grow better. To those people who actually have locals, but are too afraid to attend them, I would say, you know, not everyone has, the courage to like go out and show face and everything. Not everyone's like socially the same. Especially when it comes to like, if you're hanging out at a bar or something like that, maybe you don't drink or something or whatever. Just try to, I try to keep it a neutral face when I tend to go to a local or some area I don't know, because I don't want to give the wrong signals. I don't want to do that. So I would say that if you're trying to go out there, try to have a neutral face. Don't be super close minded. They're like, I gotta do this right here, otherwise I'm not gonna do anything else. Try to be neutral, and then go like maybe interact with a group. Be like, oh yeah, that's +1. You can just add a little remark. That's the crazy thing about sometimes in FGC. You can add a little remark and you're in a conversation. I kid you not. So many people have like said something to me. I don't know them, but I'm just hanging out with them, having fun, just because they're chill. So that's some simple little advice. Like just have a simple neutral face. Be chill. Be relaxed. Really, no one's gonna hurt you at a local. I don't believe anyone will ever do that. Um, but yeah, those are kind of my tendencies. I tend to do at locals. But if you're out there and you're new to the scene or something like that, and you're trying to be like, oh, I want to be like Just a Kid, you're gonna lose a lot before you ever win. I let me tell you this: you're gonna suffer. You're gonna be annoyed. You're gonna be angry. You're gonna be sad. But guess what? From all those emotions, someone's gonna be like, all right, now go play and do something different, or anti-RDP. They're gonna be like, but I don't do it once out of 10. Do it 2 out of 10. Do it 3 out of 10. They're gonna tell you, like, trust me, it's gonna be a grind, but soon enough it will be worth it. So do not give up. Try to attend a local, get some knowledge from people, talk to people, interact, have fun, cry, be angry, whatever. Just, you know, just go out there, and I promise you, this is sometimes it doesn't feel like a community, it feels like a family. Mm-hmm. When I tell you, like, when you come to this community, and eventually when you're here for a while, it literally turns into a family where, like, you can be like that, yo, that's my brother. You guys may not be blood related, but you guys know each other for like 5-6 years at this point. And I'm like, yeah, like, some people in this NFGC I call my family, so you will have that soon enough.
Hell yeah. Just a Kid. Last but absolutely not least, where can people find you, and what do you have going on? What's next?
Well, you guys can find me on Twitter at Just a Kid with 2 Ds 55. Or type in probably Jack, you'll probably find me somewhere up there. Same thing with YouTube. If you type in Jack Jury or Just a Kid Jury, you'll find me as well. Twitch, just a underscore kid 55. Those are typically my 3 ways to like be around. But what's next for me is actually I'm gonna be on Get on My Level next weekend.
Oh, cool.
In Toronto. They have a nice little Street Fighter 6 tournament. So I was like, I never been to Toronto. I've never been to Canada, so why not? Then after that is Evo, and then after that, let's say it's a surprise for now.
Oh,
who knows? I mean, it's still in talks, but it may happen. Hopefully, but for now, it's a surprise. But other than that, it's really just constantly being annoyed by Drive Rush online and having fun about it. So,
hell yeah. Just a Kid, dude, thank you so much for hopping on here, especially on short notice, because I reached out to you, I think, yesterday. So thanks for taking the time to be here. Thanks for sharing a lot of your thoughts and experiences. I'll definitely be hitting you up at Evo. We'll like high five and then exchange pizza for whoever wins or loses.
Well, I mean, I'm taking your pizza, and I mean, I want a pizza. You know what I'm saying?
We'll see. We'll find out on Sunday.
No, it's a given. I'm already getting the pizza. I need you to call it in right now.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Gotta wait for my paycheck to go through. I work a 9 to 5.
No, I checked the bank account. You're good. You're good for it. I checked it. No, you're good.
Well,
you're good.
My foot hurts.
Oh, no. Okay, so the numbers for his card number is 4592. Social security number and all that stuff. The numbers on the back. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, how did you get all my info, dude? Jeez.
I know all, bro. If I can find a CFN, I can find anything.
Damn, that's dangerous.
Wait, do you know the fun fact about me? Like, I know a lot of people's colors in the game.
Oh, really?
No one ever told you that fun fact?
No.
Yeah, so the fun fact before I go. In Street Fighter 5, I actually could tell pro players their like specific costume and color, and they'll be freaked out. Like, kid you not, look this up for yourself. Street Fighter 5, Punk used Nostalgia color 5.
Wow.
He used Ingrid color 10. Big Bird used Battle Outfit color 10. Angry Bird was a sweat. He only used default 1. What was it? Bonchan used Red Bull color 2, I believe. Gotcha-kun used Battle Outfit color 2. And funny enough, in this game, I don't know just yet of people's colors, but if you give me like a few months, I will remember nearly everyone's colors by the time this game is done with this first season.
Okay, we'll definitely have you back on the show and check on that then.
Yeah, don't be afraid.
Sounds good. Dude, thank you again. I super appreciate you hopping on, and I'll see you at Evo.
Yep, see you at Evo. Peace out, everyone.
Then,
much love.
Much thanks. Big thanks. I meant to say much love, but I said much thanks. Or big thanks. I don't know.